Hello everyone, Latif Smith here, and this is my Week 7 presentation on a qualitative research design. The program I will be going over for this qualitative research will be the Vandalism Awareness Program. And during this program evaluation, the item I would like to look at would be public safety. The qualitative design that I would use for this program would be ethnography, which in this particular situation, the observer would actually join a group of taggers and follow them around the city as they paint. This one would be a less violent crime, so at worst they might have to run from the police, but they would be mostly out of harm's way. And then I would also do a case study following someone around in a different community, and they probably would have less means of travel, so they actually would either have to walk or bike a lot. And then sometimes it would have to be at night, so they might actually experience situations of vandalism or property damage or break-ins. So that would be the case study for this design. The research question I will be asking is, what is the community census on public safety in a community that has a high vandalism rate? For this data collection, I would attempt to use a semi-structured interview. I would do a semi-structured interview program because I would just kind of want to be a little bit more straight to the information and kind of guide them into some of the answers to really dive into those feelings that they have regarding their safety. A potentially unreliable portion of this study would actually be those that are interviewed. You might not actually be able to rely upon who you're asking. Sometimes you might ask an interview question and you're like, oh, how do you feel about it? And then they're like, oh, I don't have a problem with vandalism. And it might be because they're actually a criminal. So that would be pretty unreliable in this situation, in evaluating public safety. And then for validity, just some of the interview questions and answers you might get, if it's after a certain amount of time has passed, the story might actually lose accuracy, and things might be either fabricated or they actually might leave some very key details out. Two things that I found interesting about the institutional review board was actually, the first thing is there's actually rules for the committee, such as one of them can't be a lawyer and one of them can't um, be a scientist, and then there has to be a number of 5 of them, and then even though there's 5 of them, there's another criteria that they also actually can't be part of that. Someone in that group can't be part of that organization. That assists in keeping the group interest free, but that's a pretty kind of well thought out team that they've created. I also thought it was interesting that they actually protect the others, or protect the liberties and safety and privacy of others who are being interviewed, such as those who have harder liberties, such as people in jail or prison, or as well as children. So they make sure that the data that they retrieve from them is protected and they remain anonymous. This concludes my presentation, and thank you all for listening.